Hey, what's up, y'all? Figured we'd do a little video on something here. I've got a few new subscribers that would probably be interested in this, so figured we'd do a little rundown on my fast small car. So let's take a look. I had this in a video, I guess last year sometime, and I hadn't ran it in like probably 2 years. So at that time I got it out, ran a tank of gas through it. After runned it, put it back away. This is my Losi 2.0. It was a kit car when I bought it. I bought it brand new. It's got quite a few races on it. Few wins, lots of second places. I know in 2009, out of 45 or 50 buggies, Pro Series, tri-state area, against sponsored people, I was unsponsored at that time, I finished 5th in points, and I was racing against people that race every weekend, people that own tracks, people that were sponsored, getting engine sponsors, tire sponsors, fuel sponsors. So for me to be up there running with the guys that run a track, own a track, and run on their track every single day of the week, I feel like I did pretty good considering I was just a small guy. But let's get right into it. These are just factory tires. This is just for being put away. I probably have about 20 or 25 different sets of tires for this. And as you could tell right here, this is the factory shock tower brace. And I'd probably say I probably got over 10 gallons on this chassis. And that tells you how much I was upside down. If you look right there, they're not really scratched up. I mean, they got a few little scuffs, but that's part of it, dude. Alright, let's jump right into this. First off, we have the 10-degree EU spindles, hub carriers. Bought those. I don't even really think you can even get those anymore. So that's a very rare amenity. And then we'll jump into this. We got King Head's top plate. We left the front brace plastic to give her a little bit of flex when you know, in case you case a jump or flat land, you need a little bit of flex. Aluminum servo arms. Of course, you got the JR 9100 series. These are not the high voltage series. These are the original. Now, I did used to have the 9000S NT, but they eventually burned up, so I went with the next best thing. Now, I do run a voltage regulator on this, which is fine with me. Really don't mind that at all. Let's jump into here. Let me get a little bit of light on this. If you look right here, that is the Losi 2-piece center diff mount. I actually got this gave to me. When I got it, the brake pad bolt was broke off in there. And you're not actually going to believe what I did to fix that. So I dremeled it out. I believe I got it out with the Dremel without messing up too much of the threads. Those are actually Sin Matrix brake pads. I used to run a Sin Matrix trucking and buggy for a long time. Got very, very good with that setup. The problem was it was just an older style vehicle. I mean, in the right hands, the Sin Matrix is a bad MFer. But I just had to step away from the Sin. My buddy taught me into a Losi. It was definitely not regretted. I had a great success with this chassis. It was awesome. Of course, we got the old school A&B transponder, not the MyLapse. Not the MyLapse. This is the real stuff right here. Aluminum servo arm right here. This was on a RC boat that I had. I mean, you can still buy these, but took and drilled these holes out and made them work like a champ. I mean, this thing's like butter, son, I'm telling you. I usually run rubber bands around this, but it's been set so long that the little duty ball rubber bands, or whatever you call them, that you get at you know, for your hair, or you get them at the dollar store or something. And then in here I got it barely fits, but I used to have the old school Losi LiPo 2000 milliamp. It eventually went bad. I bought the new style Losi LiPo. I believe it's the 21 or 2200 hobby, whatever it is. Let's look in there. Let's just look. Let's just look. Stop talking about it. Let's just look. I usually run screws in here, but with this top, I couldn't do it. Now, this is something that I do. I don't know if a lot of people do this or not, but when I buy a brand new lipo for something that's going to take abuse like this, I will take it and wrap it up in black tape so it will protect it, because it's in there shaking around a little, just the littlest bit, man. Just so I always black tape my new battery so they don't get scratched up, beat to death. It's a little bit of vibration protection. Alright, we'll put that back on so we can flip her around here. I really do enjoy RC, but here's the problem with where I live. All the tracks really shut down. One of our good tracks that we had, the owner really just got out of RC selling it. So when that happened, everybody started going up to Indiana, a place called Rio Raceway. Problem with that is, people come to find out that the owner and his wife were cheating people, docking people laps. If you wasn't in their crew, you got docked laps. So anyway, when that happened, it just really died out around here. Of course, you got the King Heads rear brace with one bolt, so that gives a little bit of flex. We have the front and rear, you can't see right there though, front and rear lightweight diff cups. Get that out of the way so somebody can see. You can't see nothing in there. Yeah, you can. You see it right there. Diffs were rebuilt with those. Get in here and look. King Head rear braces, rear hub carriers, brand new bearings all the way around. Factory rear brake, rear shock tower. Didn't need one because apparently I didn't wreck that long. This wing, you can't believe this. This wing was actually gave to me by a pro he ran Sin for a long time, and when he stepped away from Sin and started racing Losi, he sold his 1.0 to me, and when I bought the 1.0, he threw this wing in with the deal. This is actually the old school 1.0 wing. I mean, it's been upside down quite a few times, dude. I mean, it's took a beating. It's still in there. I do run the Spectrum DX3R system with this. I mean, we can look in here, but ain't really nothing to see but a whole bunch of wires, brother. It's upside down. Everything's in there. I got my voltage regulator. Here's the thing. You get it open, you may not ever get it closed because that stuff is packed in there. We'll close that in a minute. I do have the smart diff for this. I actually got that gave to me too, but I did not try it out. Should have tried it out, but I heard good and bad reviews about the smart diff, so I never did put it in. I had good success with this. I believe I run 752 or 752. It's been so long, dude. It's been, like I said, it's probably been 3 or 4 or 5, probably 4 or 5 years since I raced this buggy. But I mean, it's set up to go right now. Let's get over here. This is a THS pipe. Very rare pipe. A whole lot stronger than the Nova Rossi R&B pipes, and it actually is a copy of the. I believe it is a copy of the R&B pipe. I'm trying to think. I believe it is. I don't know exactly what number. When I got this gave to me, the header it came with it was crushed. This is actually a JP3 header. I used to have a JP3. I crushed it. See, that's the funny thing. The JP3 header had this little piece in here that actually, protected your stinger in between there, and it still crushed the whole pipe in, dude. This pipe has been through the works, and it's still a ripper, dude. I mean, it's in pretty good shape. Alright, let's get into the power plant here. Now, this is something a lot of y'all probably never seen. Will probably never see again unless you're an older RC racer. They don't even make these anymore. These were inspired from a Nova Rossi, actually made from a Nova Rossi factory. Very rare. They only made, well, I think 4 models. An RS3, an RS5, an RS7, and an RS Race. The RS Race was a super duper rare engine that you could really only get unless you was a team member. So the next best thing is the RS7. Now I did have, at one time, I did have the RS5 R&B modded version that I bought off of eBay for $100. Run 7 or 8 gallons through it. Didn't really want to sell it, didn't need it at the time because I have a brand new Techno Power Rowdy Rome engine in the box that hasn't had a drop of fuel through it. It's just hanging out. So this right here, I broke this engine in, what, 4 or 5 years ago. And at that time, my buddy was running the V-Spec. The black-headed, the world's V-Spec. And he said, oh, you'll never go 10 minutes on a tank of gas. That's old technology. You'll never get 10 minutes on a tank of gas. And I said, watch me. So I broke this in, heat cycle method, put about 45 minutes of heat cycle in, and then cycle about a half a gallon through it, just cruising around. First race I ever took it to, which was that Rio that I was talking about, indoor track. We're talking a motor that was made probably, I don't know, early 90s. Went 11.5 minutes a tank. Or, yeah, 11.5 minutes a tank every single time. Every single time. Had it tuned in, it was running about 235, which race spec, 235 is really not that hot. Probably could have tuned it up a little bit to about 245, but I was still being safe considering it only had about a gallon on it. This motor still only got about a gallon and a half at the most. It's very, very fresh. I mean, I got 2 cups. That's race nicks, man. That's just part. But another thing too, with this being an older motor, the head sticks up a little bit higher. It doesn't have that low profile head like the new stuff does. It's only sets down about like right there. You know, third one down. It's about where all the new ones look. And if you look, the head actually looks like a PX5 head the way it's cut. Now my buddy had the RS7 Chrono RB modded version. Now it did have a little different head version on it, but I believe it was a later model Chrono. I believe this is one of the early model Chronos that like when they first started making them, which isn't a bad thing because the only difference was the head design. I believe the head design was cut a little bit better for better cooling, and he run that thing. I think he got like 12 gallons through it before it started getting rod slop. You try and look these engines up. It's a Chrono. As you can tell, if you look at the case, I mean, it is a Nova Rossi. I do have a black steel flywheel too, and that's actually what I had on my Techno Power, but took it off because I was going to try and sell the Techno Power. It has the King Heads 2-piece engine mount right there, or 1-piece, whatever. I believe it's a 1-piece. And other than that, I mean, let's flip it over here and let's try and get a look at the bottom here so I can show you. I mean, the top's pretty clean considering how old this buggy really is. I mean, there's dirt in there, you can tell, but if you race off-road, you're going to get dirt. That's just how it goes. And you can look, got the R&B sticker right there. Look at that. That's probably, I'd say that's probably 8 gallons, I think. I believe 8. Maybe more. Maybe a little less. Maybe 7.5 to 8. But, I mean, she's been run. She's definitely been run. But she's in good shape. The bolts aren't sticking up yet. I mean, they're still recessed down in there. And I did put new, I believe right before I quit racing, a couple months before I quit racing, I put brand new A-arms all the way around, as you can tell. I mean, they got a few scuffs, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Look up here at the front, they don't hardly have any scuffs on them. She's been run, but there ain't nothing wrong with this buggy. I actually do have this buggy on sale. For sale. On sale. I actually have this buggy for sale on Facebook. You can look me up, Jimmy Jimmer. I'm asking $1,000 for this buggy. You'll probably, I know for a fact, you'll never get another Chrono RS7 like this, ever. That's just never going to happen. And there's a good story behind that, and I'll tell that before we get off here. $1,000, no radio. Shoot me, shoot a message in the comments below, or look me up on Facebook, Jimmy Jimmer. Shoot me an offer. I can do a whole package deal. I do have the Losi starter box for this. I do have a DX3R with 2 Pro receivers that I can throw in with a little bit more, a little bit more money on top. But if anybody's looking to trade any small block parts or anything like that, small block Chevy stuff, let me know. I just wanted to give a little rundown on this buggy. I know I had a lot of new subscribers that were, that love this stuff. I do too. I really do enjoy this. It's just a simple fact, there's nowhere to run it. This is not a toy. This is not for kids. This is an adult piece right here. If you were to buy all this at the time that I paid for this, you're looking at somewhere in between $2,000, $2,500, possibly a little bit more if you include the radio, starter box, stuff like that. So definitely not a toy. Alright, let's get into the story of this. Found this engine on eBay. Seen it. I was like, man, I gotta buy this. Starting offer was $50. Well, I looked at the guy's profile a little bit. We'll come to find out the guy that actually had this for sale did estate sales. He bought a whole bunch of RC stuff. He had RC boats, engines, and old school radios and stuff. He had this, bought this in an estate sale. This was brand new in the bag, in the box. Bag and the box, with the foam on it, with the instruction manual in French, or, yeah, it'd be French. Still had the price tag on the box. Okay? And this dude sold it. I think I paid $56 for this engine. Brand new, in the box, in the plastic, with the padding, and the instruction manual. I believe it was around $400 when this was bought. So, I mean, for me, I feel like I really just got a steal on that. Let's see if we can, find the box here real quick and do a little rundown. Y'all just hang out when we get the box. Alright, I'll show you the box here. I did rip that off because I originally was going to try and sell this, but there's the price tag right there. I believe it was like $469 or something like that. It was up there. But Chrono, look them up. 21 racing engine. European champions. 1998. 92, 93, and 98, boys and girls. I don't know if the thing is still, look at that. This is not a toy. I don't know if the, yeah, it's in there. When I bought my C5 I used to have an R&B modded C5 too. My buddy threw this in with it, which I could put that on there, but I like to flex on people. I like to let them know that I got something that they're never ever gonna have, never will have. So that, let me know if you're interested in this. This is one of the original old school lightweight cooling heads for a .21. Will fit any .21 and over Rossi based. Alright, let's get into this. You look in there, I got some R&B parts. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, instruction manual. Can you read that? I can't read that. I don't know what that says. Micro Engine World. Radio Stimmy. Let's open this up. Has all the part numbers. Tells you what fuel you should run. I can't even read that. It probably says 5%. I don't know. I can't read that. I always run. Okay, so that's your castor oil. really says no more, I guess, than 10%, but I always run 30. But to me, look, there's the break-in right there. Running in. It says run the engine for at least quarter throttle, at least 15 minutes. And then run the engine for about a half a tank for 30 minutes without exceeding 15 to 20,000 RPM. So it says this does have a warranty. But then again, look at how old this is. If you look here, there's a parts breakdown. All the part numbers. Look at that. That is exact copy of a C5. Exact copy of a C5 sleeve. So there's the carburetor. Alright, right here's what I was talking about. Let's get into this. Let's get into this right here. Stand it up if we can. Start down here. Oh, I lied. There was 5 versions. I guess there was a CL. It says, I guess, long stroke. But that was a very mild motor. It's probably their entry level engine. And then the RS3. I've never seen an RS3. And then the RS5. Now this is what I had that was R&B modded. I had it on a truggy. I had a 5-port on a truggy, and it just pulled out of control. It was definitely a bad mamma jamma. Now this is what I have right now. This is what's on my Buggy 4-cell. RS7, 2.6 horsepower, 36,000 RPMs at the rated. But you do a little work to this engine, send it out, or even then touch it up yourself. I believe on a good day with 30% fuel, it'll reach 40,000 RPMs. Standard plug, 14mm shaft crank, and it says 8mm Ventures, but it came with, you know, if you just get Nova Rossi Ventures. Now this is the one right here that you will be very hard pressed to find. They're very rare. I've never seen one. I've never heard of one. See, it says right there, Chrono by Nova Rossi. One and done. You will never see another one of these books probably ever in your life. Now this is the RS race, rated for 44,000. Says 37 up there. I guess that's the Italian. Yeah. 37,000 RPMs. That one's 34. They're both 7 ports. Okay. 4-stroke, same. Now that had a turbo plug. Now we're talking turbo plug back in the 90s. Almost every engine now is turbo plug unless you get a cheap entry level one. Now that one had a 9mm Venture, which ups it up a little bit. So I just wanted to give y'all a little rundown on my Losi 2.0. If you're interested in this, buying it, let me know. I'll keep in touch with you, or I'll hit you back in the comments and see if we can work something out. Alright, y'all. Y'all have a good one.